there, busy kids. Welcome to lesson number 4 of our second module. Today, we're going to be learning a new time signature, and it has been a long time since we've learned a new time signature. We've been working for the first few levels on time signatures like 3-4 or 4-4 or 2-4, always with that 4 on the bottom. Today, we're going to switch that up and dig into a new time signature with an 8 at the bottom. If you've scanned over the materials a little bit, you'll notice I'm not actually having you play anything at the piano for our lesson today. We're going to be just focusing on rhythm and how that rhythm sounds. And so for this lesson, you can either clap when we're doing some of these rhythm exercises, or if you have a fun rhythm instrument you like to use, I think that's always really fun. One of my favorites to use is a gathering drum, so I like to tap the rhythm on the drums with my students when they come into the studio. If you have a triangle, or if you have a tambourine, or wood blocks, or jingle bells, or anything like that, anything that you can play a rhythm on, that will be perfectly fine to use for this lesson. So let's take a closer look at our new time signature. So we know from previous time signatures, when we have this number at the top, it tells us how many beats are in each measure. So in this case, we're going to have 3 beats in every measure. Now this 8 is new. Typically, we have a 4. And when we have a time signature with a 4 on the bottom, like one of these, this means that our quarter note is going to get 1 beat. This 4 stands for the quarter note. When we have an 8 at the bottom, this stands for our 8th note. So this means the 8th note is going to get 1 beat. So it changes all the values of our notes, which can be a little bit confusing, but I put together a little chart to help you think through this. So my single 8th note gets 1 beat. That means that a quarter note gets 2 beats, and a dotted quarter note gets 3 beats. And then all their matching rests are over here. So if my single 8th note gets 1 beat, that means my 8th rest also gets 1 beat. 2 beats for the quarter rest, and 3 beats is going to be a whole measure rest. Remember, this upside down hat is a whole measure rest. Whether you're in 2-4, 6-8, 3-4, 3-8, whatever you're in, this is a whole measure of rest. So let's take a look at the second sheet of your materials. And I want you to write in these rhythms with me as we start to figure out what this 3-8 time signature is all about. Do you remember how many beats the 8th note gets in 3-8 time? If you said 1 beat, you're correct. So if my 8th note gets 1 beat, I have 1, 2, and 3. Now what would the counts be for this measure here, where I have a single 8th note and 2 8th rests? It should look like this. How about this measure here? If you wrote your measure like this, you're correct. And then our last measure is again 3 8th notes, so 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and try clapping this, or if you have a rhythm instrument, you can play it on your rhythm instrument, and I'll point so you know where we are. 1, 2, play. 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, 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 rest. 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, let's look down here now. We have our dotted quarter note. Do you remember how many beats the dotted quarter note gets? And if you need to, you can look back at our rhythm sheet here. Here's our dotted quarter notes. It gets 3 beats. So this takes up a whole measure. 1, 2, 3. What would you write here then? 1, 2, 3 again. What about over here where we have a quarter note followed by an 8th note? Let's look at our rhythm sheet. Our quarter note gets 2 beats. So we write 1, 2, and then remember our 8th note gets 1 beat, so the 3 goes underneath the 8th note. And then the same rhythm here, 1, 2, and then 3. All right, grab your rhythm instruments or get ready to clap. Let's try clapping this one here, and I'll point. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. All right, now let's look at this one here. We have this 8th note again, but here we have an 8th rest in between, and you'll see this a lot in 3/8 time. So the way it's going to be, 8th note gets 1, this 8th rest gets 1, and this 8th note gets 1. So we have our 1, 2, 3. So what would this next measure look like? If you said 1, 2, 3, you're correct. What about this measure here? This measure should look like this. And how about this measure? Very good. All right, let's go ahead and try clapping or playing on a rhythm instrument. 1, 2, play. 1, rest, 3, 1, rest, 3, 1, rest, rest, 1, rest, rest. Did you remember not to clap on those rests? Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, play. 1, rest, 3, 1, rest, 3, 1, rest, rest, 1, rest, rest. All right, let's look at our last one here. Do you remember how many beats the dotted quarter note gets? If you said 3, you're correct. So we'll write 1, 2, 3. And then here's our 3/8 notes. 1, 2, 3. What about a whole measure rest when we're in 3/8 time? If you said 3, you're correct. So we'll write all our beats under there. And then here we have 2/8 notes and a rest. So each of these gets 1 beat. So let's go ahead and try playing this rhythm. 1, 2, play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3. 1, 2, rest. Let's do it again. Don't forget to rest on the rests. Ready, set, play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3. 1, 2, rest. Very good. Now, we don't have any music to learn, so you can continue to practice these rhythms until you feel comfortable with them. And then I'd also like you to write your own rhythm right here of 4 measures in 3/8 time. If you're really struggling with this, you can look back to here for some different ideas and patterns, or look on your rhythm chart here. And this will tell you some ideas as well. So make sure 4 measures, and each measure has 3 beats. So that's all you have to do for this lesson. I'll see you soon for our next lesson.